Hey guys, Primal Swampy here, and we're going to be giving you another deck tech today. Since my Tapu Koko deck did pretty good, well, for my channel anyway, almost 500 views is pretty good, so I think I'll continue doing the deck techs. And today, as you can see by the playmat I just got in today, and him, we're going to be doing Metagross GX, which is a pretty good deck. Possibly not tier 1, but still pretty good, nevertheless. And this is going to be a post-rotation, just like all of my deck techs will be. So, we'll get right into it with 4 copies of Beldum. Nothing special, just there for Metagross to evolve. But one good thing is he only has a retreat cost of 1, which is the lowest of his evolution, which is pretty good. I do like that. Next up, we run 3 copies of Metang. Again, nothing really special, just waiting to evolve into Metagross, and he's rarely used because we do run a certain item card that I'm sure all of you know, where we can just go from Beldum to Metagross. And then 4 copies of Metagross GX, and I will give you a quick look at him because he is important. 250 HP, Steel type. He's weak to fire. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal against Volcanion. Ho-Oh, that's probably about it right now that I'm thinking of. And resistance to Psychic, so he resists Garbodor, Espeon, stuff like that. He has the ability Geotech System. Once during your turn, you may attach a Psychic or a Steel energy card from your discard pile to your active Pokemon, and that does stack. So if you have 4 Metagross GX in play, you can use Geotech System 4 times and get 4 energies from your discard pile, plus the one you used to attach. So that's 5 energies in play for 1 turn. Then we have the attack Giga Hammer for 2 Steel and a Colorless. It does 150, and he can't use Giga Hammer during his next turn. Then we have Algorithm GX. Search your deck for up to 5 cards and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck after. And it costs 1 colorless. Pretty good GX attack, but most of the time I always get end, and it's basically useless after that. But if you don't get end, it's pretty good. Sorry, bumped the camera there. And then we run a new tech from Burning Shadows, 2 Necrozma GX. And I'll give you a detailed view of him. Psychic type, 180 HP. Has the ability Light's End, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from colorless Pokemon. Then we have the attack Prismatic Burst. For 3 colorless, discard all psychic energy from this Pokemon. It does 60 damage for each card, or for each energy card you discard in this way. So what you want to do is have him active, and then you can just Geotech System all those psychic energies on him, and then use it, and then next turn just keep repeating it. You're getting rid of those energies, but it's coming back pretty quick. And then we have Black Ray GX, which is probably one of the best GX attacks for a basic GX in the game. This attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX. This damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance. That GX attack is just insane. Spreads 100 damage everywhere. Every deck runs Tapu Lele, and there's hardly any decks that don't run GXs, period. So Black Ray GX is definitely a great GX attack. Then we run 2 Alolan Vulpix for the Beacon attack. Takes 0 energy to use this attack. Search your deck for 2 Pokemon, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck afterward. And he has a retreat cost of 1. Really good. A must-have card in most Stage 2 decks. Actually, every Stage 2 deck now. because Forest of Giant Plants is out, so I think if Decidueye is going to be played, Alolan Vulpix needs to be played as well. And for the final Pokemon, we run 3 copy of Tapu Lele GX. I did opt to play 2, but I ended up taking out a rare candy for a Tapu Lele because I always had my hand cluttered with them after I already had Metagrosses in play. So I took 1 rare candy out and put in a Lele. And now we move on to the supporter lineup. We run 4 copies of N, as every deck does now, because VS Seekers are no longer standard. Although we are getting a new supporter card that kind of does what VS Seeker does, but you put 2 in combination of supporter and stadium from your discard into your hand. Next, we run 3 copies of Professor Sycamore. Discard your hand, draw 7 cards. Professor Sycamore seeing a lot less play because VS Seekers are out of rotation and you don't want to throw away your resources. But we still play it because it's still one of the best draw supports in the game. Then we run 3 copies of Guzma. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. If you do, your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Basically an escape rope, but you get to choose what your opponent switches in. We run 3 copies of him. Then we run a single copy of Bridget. Search your deck for 1 basic Pokemon EX or 3 basic Pokemon except for Pokemon EX and put them down on your bench. Shuffle your deck afterward. Really good card. You really want that card turn 1. Get a Lele or just have it in your hand and then get your 3 build them out on your bench. I want to try to get as many Metagrosses out in play as possible. And that's it for the supporter lineup. Now we move on to the item cards. Run 4 copies of Ultra Ball, as every deck does. And then we run 4 copies of Max Potion. Heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. If you do, discard all energy attached to that Pokemon. But that is not a big deal at all, because we can get those energies back with Geotech System. Actually, most of the time we don't even use it like that. We retreat first and then Max Potion, but it's about the same anyway. Then we move on to 4 copies of Choice Band. Does 30 more damage to Pokemon EX or GX. Most of the time we want to attach that to Metagross, so he's hitting an even 180 right there for EX range. Next, we run 3 copies of Rare Candy. Like I said before, I was running a 4th copy, so I could try to get Metagrosses out as quickly as possible, but I found me getting him out pretty quick anyway. So I opted to play 3 instead of 4 and bumped up a Lele. So run 3 copies of that. Then we run 2 copies of Field Blower, mostly for Garbatoxin because ability shutdowns really hurt Metagross. He can't Geotech System at all. Kind of shuts down the whole purpose of this deck. Then we run a couple 1-ofs. Rescue Stretcher and Super Rod. And that is it for the trainer cards. Now we move on to the energy count. And I was going back and forth with the energy count on this, but I think I've found a system that works pretty good for me, because I see myself attacking with Metagross more than Necrozma, but feel free to do with the deck what you wish. This is my list, so I'll be doing this. Run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Steel Energy, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Psychic Energy. Now, a lot of Metagross decks I see run more Psychic Energy than Steel, but I don't particularly agree with that, because Metagross takes 2 Steel Energy. Necrozma just takes all colorless, so you can still attack with them just using all steel, but I still run plenty of Psychic to get that good damage on them. But I find myself attacking with Metagross a lot more than I attack with Necrozma, so I run more Steel Energy than Psychic. But that is the deck. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next deck tech video, which I will be giving a hint to right here. He will be coming soon with his evolved form. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more Primal Swampy videos.